How to Choose Good and Reliable Sources by Maya Hansen. The use of sources. The internet can be an amazing source of information for those who need it. Students, teachers, and even doctors can use the internet for reliable information. However, the trick lies in making sure that the information you use is reliable. The scholarly article, All the News That's Fit to Ignore: How the Information Environment Does and Does Not Shape News Avoidance, by Benjamin Toff, states, in an increasingly fragmented environment, it is easier for people uninterested in particular types of niche news, or any news whatsoever, to filter out what they do not like. This means that if the source you are using is unreliable, the writer could be biased. The first step, look at the ending of the website. Each website ends in a URL. By looking at the URL, you can somewhat see if the website is reliable. For an example, .com is not the most reliable URL, but .gov is better. Second step, watch for punctuation errors and the format of the writing. A really important step to finding reliable sources is as simple as watching the grammar of the writer. A good writer whose source you can trust will use good grammar in their writing. The third step, look at the credibility of the author who wrote and published the article. You will want to look at who wrote the article. This is important because you want somebody who is qualified to have written the article. Ideally, you'd want somebody who has studied what they are writing about. The same thing goes for publishing. In the scholarly article, The Digital Generation: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, by Peter V. Paul, he says, "Nevertheless, I shudder just a bit when I consider that we now live in a world of multiple realities." Blackmore, 2004. This means that anybody could go on the internet and read anything and perceive it as the truth. Why is it important to use good sources? It is important to use good and trustworthy sources because you risk using incorrect, false, or biased information if you aren't careful. It is especially important if you are educating people on a topic. Pop quiz. 1. Why should you look at the ending of the website you are going to use as a resource? 2. Is the author of the website an important factor in determining if the source is trustworthy? 3. Should the author have educational background on what they are writing about? 4. Is the source trustworthy if you found multiple errors in the writing? 5. Why is it important to use trustworthy sources? And these are my references.